Good afternoon. Welcome to the July 17th, 2024 Oldham County Technical Review Committee meeting. My name is Ryan Fisher. I'm a senior planner with Oldham County Planning and Development. The purpose of this meeting is to review proposed subdivisions, zoning map amendments, and development plans before they go to the Planning Commission. This gives local agencies and utility companies that will provide services the opportunity to review those plans, discuss and comment about the accessibility of services, and ensure all aspects of the development plans adhere to zoning and subdivision regulations. This meeting also provides any adjoining property owner or concerned citizen that may be in attendance the opportunity to ask technical questions of the applicants or agencies represented before you. We only have one case on the docket today, which is TRC-24-011 for a Crestwood Strip Mall development plan on the Walmart property. It is for a development plan, so we will first allow the applicant to come forward and give a brief overview of their application. We will allow the agencies that are up front to go ahead and provide their comments, and then allow the public, if any happen to come in between now and then, the opportunity to come up and ask technical questions of either the applicant or the agencies represented. So with that, we'll start with the applicant.
Phil Gambrell, Prism Engineering, 2309 Watterson Trail, Louisville, Kentucky, 40299. Okay. How do I get into here?
You Control-Alt-Delete, and then that password is on there. It logged it off.
I can actually follow directions.
Yep, should be right there.
Okay. As Ryan mentioned, we're here today to talk about development plan for a vacant piece of property at the Walmart Center off of Veterans Parkway. The property, as you can see on the slide here, is adjacent to the existing Taco Bell restaurant. Okay, come on down. To give a little overview of where it's at, the dark red box there, it's located to the northwest of the Walmart Supercenter, and again next to the Taco Bell. Here's a little bit closer look at the area. As you can see right now, the existing site is approximately half of it is covered with asphalt parking lot, and pretty much the other half is gravel for maneuvering. I guess they've been parking trucks and trailers in there, and they needed more than just the asphalt. Here's a little closer view of the proposed structure. We are looking at a 150 by 50 foot building. The first 50 feet of it is a proposed coffee shop with a drive-through. The drive-through is on what we consider the backside of the structure between it and the Taco Bell. It has proper queuing lane and ordering facilities. The remainder of the retail area, which is 5,000 square feet, will be broken up into smaller retail shops. Our parking is within the minimum and not more than the maximum. And that chart is on the development plan that is in front of you. The reason I prepared the slide the way I did here with the green on it is because the one item that we need to look at is for a waiver is we are requesting a waiver from the 65% impervious area limit for this zoning classification. We're asking that it be increased to 83%, just in order to fit the drive-through facility and the required parking. It pretty much took up the site. As a caveat, the 83% impervious is less than what the imperviousness of the site is currently with the parking and the gravel. And that's, welcome any questions.
All right, thank you. I'll begin with planning and development comments, and then I know Jim Urban has one to add, maybe more. So mine are pretty short and sweet. I've got two letters for both of you all. First one is just the parcel ID listed under the project summary, I believe is incorrect. It should be 23-00-0016K. I think the one that's provided takes me over to LaGrange behind the Tractor Supply. So.
Oh, I know exactly where that site
Yeah,
is.
so yeah, if you can just change that. Include the name and address of the property owner right now in the title block. And then obviously a landscape and lighting plan will be required at the time of construction plan review and approval. As of right now, the state will handle the permitting on a building this size, but depending on what happens with our building construction and maybe looking at expanded jurisdiction, that may change. But as of right now, that would go to the state, but just make sure that landscape and lighting plan comes to us, and ensure that screening requirements for service structures, including dumpsters, are included in that plan. And then I guess my one nitpicky comment would just be outside dining under parking summary is misspelled and should just have one in. That's all.
I'm an engineer. We can do a lot of stuff, but we cannot spell.
So that is all I have at this time. Jim?
The one thing, I believe that there's a shared access easement for that entrance, which is on the subject property, but allows access to the Taco Bell. So if you can find that and put it on the, noted on the driveway entrance.
Okay.
I think when Taco Bell was built, they have a access and maintenance agreement. I'm not sure about that, but if you can look that up and find
Couldn't
out.
find anything, but I figured at the very least, if we didn't have anything recorded, you guys would require
Yeah,
us
yeah.
to have one.
And when I emphasized, I think, it's because I didn't look it up, but I seem to remember that Taco Bell had some kind of cross-access agreement, because that's the only way they can get in there. If there's not, we probably should make sure that it's,
Well, they have the entrance up at the top. Is-
again, from what would be Kenwood Crossing.
Yes.
That was my only comment.
All right, we'll go down to the end. Mr. Marshall?
Yeah, I think I've got it. Yeah, so for your awareness, the city has really delegated development review authority to the county engineer's office, and then we review it as well from the city's side. One of the comments that I have concerns really just some traffic impact study, and Jim Silliman and I have had prior discussion about it, and he's captured that in his comments, so I'll let the detail of that come through his comments. So.
Okay.
So I'll give you a copy of the letter and a red line drawing after this, but this is somewhat unique in that since the site land disturbance is less than an acre, it wouldn't require the Kentucky Division of Water KYR 10 permit, nor would it require our stormwater quality management and erosion control permit. So you can update the note 1 on that. However, we will still review it, and because it's part of a larger common development, the post-construction runoff ordinance applies. So the construction site runoff ordinance doesn't, but the post-construction does. So no need for those 2 permits, but we will still need to address water quality volume. And you won't need to, I don't think you need to address this stormwater detention with this, because based on review of the February 2014 Planning Commission hearing for the Walmart site, detention for the whole larger development is accommodated by two regional basins. So detention should be handled, but that was prior to the water quality. So water quality does need to be addressed. There's also, Ryan mentioned that Tractor Supply. I think there's a note that references Preach Drive, so you can change that to Kenwood Crossing Drive for access. As always, ensure that the internal pavement geometry meets the needs of emergency vehicles, garbage truck, any larger vehicles that are going to be accessing this site. For the Planning Commission hearing, include a proposed pavement detail and other dimensions, including the widths of the lanes and radii. I think it appears to show curb. Our subdivision regulations would require curbing around the perimeter. Just label it so we know those two lines indicate curb. If you would, I think it'd be good to indicate, and on your red line, I've given you the plat number, the right-of-way that's dedicated on the north side of the northern parcel, because I think it helps to indicate the access to the property. Just with some pretty easy notes. There's a note referencing MSD's development review. It actually needs to be changed to Oldham County. And then lastly, William mentioned the traffic impact study. There was an impact study done in November of 2013 for that February 14 hearing. It included this and the Taco Bell site as outlot, I think 2, and assigned 122 peak hour trips for a proposed bank. If you look at the Institute of Transportation Engineers, the ITE data for just the Taco Bell, I mean, this isn't counts. This is just the ITE data, but that shows 127 peak hour counts for Taco Bell. So Taco Bell alone's already slightly exceeded that whole outlot. Then if we add, depending on the coffee shop size, I mean, you're showing 2,500 square feet, but then there's another 5,000 square feet of undetermined retail. It really far exceeds that 122 trips. So I've requested traffic counts from KIPTA for Madison Park Place and Kenwood Crossing. So because the other component of whether a traffic impact study is required is the volume on the road that it accesses. So once we have a better idea of that number, we can determine what type of study is required, either an update to the previous study, but at minimum, what William and I were talking about is that intersection needs to be investigated for traffic control, whether it's a four-way stop or, I don't think you'd be required to put a signal in there, but investigated for a four-way stop. And that was actually part of the land use certificate that was provided in February of 2014. So it'd be wise to go ahead and continue that investigation. So with that said, KIPTA is really typically quick about getting those numbers back to us. So I should have the volumes on those streets soon, and we can determine what needs to be done at that intersection. Okay?
Very good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Matt Toller, GIS and addressing, we have enough numbers out there, so it won't be a problem. So, the retail side, depending on how many suites or units they are, we'll just probably address that when we know what might go in there.
It should be four 25-foot bays.
All right.
All right. Anybody have anything else they forgot? All right. Seeing nobody in the audience, I won't open it up for any public comment or questioning. If anybody watching this did receive any notice of today's meeting, you'll also receive notice of any further hearings that the applicant does apply for. I know you all had put in originally the development plan, so if it's your all's intent to move forward based on any of these comments or Jim's comments about traffic, just make sure you let me know so that I can ensure by the next filing deadline that we get you on there. So other than that, that is all I have, and this meeting will stand adjourned. 1:16. Thank you.